Today I want to share with you the very best axe sheath design I've ever come across. Let's see what we can do here. So we'll take this, we'll have to find these straps. These look like something that's kind of military surplus. I like the cotton straps, but we'll have to find something. A lot of detail there, look at that. It's got a little rivet on there to keep that. That's kind of nice. You don't see stuff like that all the time. Let's take this apart. So I'm not going to take that apart because it's just too fragile. I'll end up messing it up. So we'll just work with it the way it is. So let's trace around here with our pencil. Once we've got that traced out, then we'll just carefully roll this around. Don't let it slide. Now this sheet metal here could be had just about anywhere. This is real similar to what you're going to find on a computer case, an old computer. So if you got an old computer laying around, there may be enough in there you could kind of salvage and get what you need from that. So there's our basic shape, just kind of a butterfly there, pretty straightforward. So let's take our tin snips and we'll cut that out, and then we'll use that for a pattern for the second one. I really enjoy working with sheet metal. I never really have much, but it's amazing what you can build. There's so many things that are made out of sheet metal. And the nice thing about it is you don't need a lot of heavy tools. A lot of things can be shaped with tin snips or nippers, and easy to file. It's easy to work with. You don't need all the heat. And I think it's pretty fun stuff to work with. So with this first pattern here kind of roughed out, we'll use that as a template for the second one. Make them as similar as possible, and then we can put them together and kind of finish them together and make it nice. So we've got our two patterns, and they're pretty close. So they got kind of a little bit bent up there with the cutting process. So we'll put them here on the anvil, and I'll use a dead blow hammer. A soft hammer, it'll it won't stretch the metal so much. As if we hit it, it'll actually thin the metal and stretch it out. And so this dead blow hammers are nice. They've got shot in them, if you can hear this. And what that does is when you hit it, that shot, it automatically goes to the back of the hammer, and then as the hammer makes impact, it has a tendency to want to bounce back, but that shot shoots down and prevents it. So no matter how hard you swing a dead blow hammer, it'll never bounce on you. Wonderful, wonderful invention. So we'll just flatten this out. You sheet metal guys are probably rolling your eyes right now. I'm sorry to butcher your trade. Okay, so I should have marked which way we were. Doesn't look like that. Boy, by the looks of these pieces, you wouldn't know I cut them from the same. So we'll match these bases, match up the flat spot where we started there. That's flat, we know that's good, and we can put this in the vise. And we want to clamp it pretty deep so that we don't get chatter, and then we can grind or file. We'll try the file here, we'll see how that goes. So by putting these together and filing them at the same time, we can get them exactly the same. So on your outside radiuses, you can use a flat file, but when you go on the inside there, you need to use a round file because the flat will only touch on the point. So you have to have two files for this. Now sheet metal is going to want to really chatter on you back and forth, so the closer you can get it to the vise, the better. So you'll end up having to move it often, but like this here, so you can see right there in that concave area. This is where we'll use our round file. There, that looks pretty nice. I think we're pretty good there. We've got a nice mirrored set there. Looks pretty good. All four corners there match the flat spot. We could clean up a little bit more of a radius right there. It's got a hard edge on it. Yeah, get that down there low as you can. Good file, make short work of that. So I think we're ready to break the metal. All right, so we'll just kind of wing it here. Looks like we're 4 inches at the waist, so we'll make a mark there at 2 inches. And we've got these oak dowels. I'm just going to start doing it. We'll see what happens here. I usually wear gloves with the sheet metal. I got that sore thumb too, so it's kind of hard on my thumb. But we'll just run these along there and just start bending that around there, right? All right, we're making it up as we go here. So we'll put our dowel in there and kind of eyeball that for center. And we'll start bringing those 2 points together. That looks pretty good. Okay, so I'm going to use the vise as a press. I've marked in there 1.5 inches and put a little mark with my Sharpie so we can have some consistency. And this sheet metal is pretty thin. We should be able to break this or press this no problem. And I'll just go a little bit of an angle. Come up to my line. Just break that and press that in there nice and tight. And then we'll bring that in tight. If we take our hammer, good strike, that'll crimp that real nice down there. We'll do a little more work on that, but same thing the other side here. Nice to have that mark in there because then we can have some consistency. All right, so crimp that. There, we got a good tight crimp in there now. So we'll just put this on here and just flatten these corners down a little bit on our anvil. You can use the back of your vise. Straighten everything up. You can see there, you know, we have a little different shape, so I'll put that back in the vise and let's file that down and make those match, make it look nice. All right, that looks pretty good. We've got those filed to match. So we've got symmetry on there. We've got our oak dowel in there where the axe head will rest up against. Now we need to open this up to receive the axe, but we don't want it to spread the sides too much. So I'll clamp the side in here, hold that. And I'm thinking if we can just slide this small pry bar in there and hold this in with our fingers, and we can spread that. This sheath here is going to be for my little Collins Cruiser, and so I can just put it on here and kind of use that on the vise here and just do a little fine tuning. Contour that around it a bit. Might even pop rivet that. This metal's a little bit thinner than what they had. This metal from the original one is stiff enough where it holds itself a little better, where this is getting a little bit springy because it is quite a bit thinner, but that's not an issue. So let's put that on the back burner here. We got to be concerned about, I guess next, is how we're going to retain the straps on here. This is a beautifully elegant design right there because it doesn't, all it takes is just one simple cut and it just works really good. Where like on the Grizzly Peak design here, the belt loops are pop riveted on. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that. It's an extra step. It's just not quite as clean, not quite as durable. You know, it would be nicer to be able to put two slits there and bring that metal out, run your belt through. You know, less weight, less chance of something failing. So this right here is what I would consider elegance of design, minimalistic design that works really good. So let's cut. We got to figure out how to cut these now. We need to cut a groove on there. So what I'm thinking is I'll probably just take a small grinder wheel, and we'll just put one little cut and then pry it up and see if we can't find a piece of leather or something in there that would make a nice nice retaining band. All right, on to part 3, the final part, to see how it turned out. Actually, you can kind of see it there in the picture. Turned out just fine. It's a nice little sheath. It's a little project that pretty much anyone can do without any real special tools, and I think it solves the problem that many of us have. So if you don't mind clicking the thumbs up, shows it's a way you can support the channel, and we appreciate it. And we'll see you guys on the next video.